everybody, my name is Matheson. Welcome to one of my favorite games, Plague Inc. And I'm sure you all by now know what Plague Inc. is, and if you don't, yeah, you'll learn really quickly. But it's my go-to game when I want to relax. I actually play a lot of Plague Inc. off camera, but I haven't played in a while, and I've been getting the itch, and I've been backlogging for a trip, and I decided, you know what? Let's play some Plague Inc. There is a few strands of the virus that I have not been able to play yet because I just haven't played the game in a while, and new computer means I might not even have all my shit anymore. So what I want to do is actually just play the main game, and I want to play the Shadow Plague, which I haven't checked out yet, which is the Vampire Plague. And if you know me, you know I love World of Darkness. I'm about to be running a Vampire the Masquerade 5e game on Roll For It, which is on Twitch. And I just love it. And we're gonna do it. I've played it a little bit off camera just to get a feel for how this particular special plague works. And I think it's actually really easy, but it's a lot of fun. So let's check it out. So Shadow Plague, you knew Gene, because I played a little bit. I don't think I have anything that I can click on here because most of the stuff unfortunately is locked. I don't think I need any of this stuff. I think I can beat this possibly even on a hard with I don't know, do I want to do, it's been a while. Let's go with Brutal. I usually play on Brutal anyway. Let's play on Brutal with this thing. So this is a fun one, and of course, as a vampire, I do like to sink my teeth in my mouth on things, so this is of course gonna be the most deadliest of diseases, LIGMA. Centuries ago, a human close to death was infected by a sentient pathogen, the Shadow Plague. Buried deep underground, the human was slowly consumed and transformed. So, let's dive in, and we'll tell the story of our vampire who's awakening thousands of years after his death. Where, oh where, did our vampire come from? Well, that's a good question. That's just a name we're gonna choose. I like the idea that our vampire arrived and was unburied in Egypt, and those who unburied him ended up meeting a quick death as my vampire, when awoken, desperately needed to feed. And who was but before his very eyes? Those who in a way rescued him. So he is gonna be from Egypt. He was an archaeologist discovery. The world has changed beyond belief, but the vampire can already smell the blood of billions of humans waiting to be consumed and subjugated. So we're gonna pause it real quick, and we're gonna dive into our evolution process here. So the thing with this vampire disease is we were facing two problems. The one that is always around, which is the cure, and similar to the zombie virus, an organization will rise up once they realize we're here, called the Templars, to wipe us out. So we need to balance both. The thing is, this is an incredibly unique virus because transmission is not something you even need to worry about right away until you develop this, which is Shadow Blessing, which is your ability to spread this vampiric disease amongst mortals. But once this is triggered, it can start being detected and people will start researching a cure. I like to think of my vampire as a man who sees humanity as a virus on this earth. The earth is consumed by mortals and they're killing this planet, and it's up to him to cull it. He's the only vampire alive. He's going to cull humanity, and in the way he's gonna do it is before he worries about even spreading it and risking his own disease being cured, he's gonna start weeding out humanity on his own. So we're not gonna worry about transmission or symptoms. It doesn't make sense. Instead, we're so powerful, we're just gonna start murdering people right out the gate. We're gonna feed, we need to feed our strength. We've been asleep for thousands of years. Let's feed on the mortals' blood and devour them. And the best way to do that, as I've messed around, is by grabbing Blood Rage. Blood Rage, vampires gain the ability to enter a Blood Rage. Will attack research and military facilities if present, otherwise consuming people for DNA. Basically, I rip through a country and I eat them up and I gain DNA points. Once again, kind of taking that theme of empowering myself. I'm weak, I'm not ready to rule over others who have the same disease yet. I need to strengthen myself. So we have a base pool of 20 DNA points, and we're gonna dip into the first two levels. And basically what level 2 does is it's more powerful, and we just can murder faster. And we're gonna go ahead and say that's it for now. And in Egypt, as we arrive and arise, we're just going to right away start consuming the people of Egypt. I'm ravenous, I cannot be controlled. We're gonna go ahead and click on that. It uses 1 DNA point to do. We're gonna unpause it. We're gonna play at speed 3. And all of a sudden Egypt is gonna be devoured. And we're very much going to focus on that. Your vampire is shown as a red icon on the map. It has unique powers and abilities, so use it wisely. And our powers will be on the left-hand side here. We're just gonna devour Egypt as fast as we possibly can. The vampire feeds by drinking the blood of its victims, leaving behind drained corpses. It is only a matter of time before the humans realize that they are dealing with something far worse than a murderous cult. Again, not a bad thing. We can deal with the Templars first, and once the Templars are gone, we can then start spreading it. And I think that's a pretty popular way of doing this disease. I think this is kind of the way that it's I don't want to say foolproof, but pretty strong. And I'm gonna go with it because I like the idea that I am feasting and empowering myself. So we're just gonna keep tearing ass through Egypt. LIGMA is gonna be ligging up all the balls that they can. We're gonna go ahead and grab the next point of this, and then once we have enough points, we're actually gonna grab the ability to turn into a bat, because then we can start flying to other countries. So, continuing to devour as best we can until we have enough to grab this. And we're just gonna max out, man. We might just feast through the entirety of Egypt. You can see there's already 12,000 dead. We're doing all kinds of nasty, nasty damage here, and it's working out in our favor quite nicely. The balls of the rest are not gonna work out so well. So we need to keep powering up here. Authorities in Egypt have confirmed that they are tracking a highly dangerous individual who they believe is responsible for the horrifying blood cult murders that have shocked the world. Literally, they have not found us yet. We've killed 39,000 people and they still have not discovered us. But that's because we're a vampire, man. We just do what we need to do. We are devouring as quickly as we can. Another 2 there, another 3. Let's go ahead and grab this one. And I have a feeling we may even just devour the entirety of Egypt here. They are ours to feed on, and that's a lot of DNA for us. And all these little red slashes are just us. All right, here it is. They popped up very quickly. The secretive multinational defense company reveals that a vampire is behind the blood cult murders that have shocked the world. Templar Industries claim to be taking urgent action to defend humanity. So that's one of the reasons I actually ended up grabbing flight really quickly. Once the Templars stop popping up, we're just gonna try and rip through them as quickly as we can. Claiming that humanity is at a risk of extinction, Templar Industries have activated advanced military bases across the globe to fight the vampire threat. We've got 2 very, very close, and we're gonna look at murdering them very quickly. If we take a look, actually, we have 1 out in Greenland, or Iceland rather. We have 1 over here in Saudi Arabia. We have 1 over here in Turkey. They're quite spread out. Indonesia, and then over in New Zealand. We'll take out these 2 first, but not before we're ready. We need to make sure we are prepped and good. I'm actually just gonna say again on that. You hear gunshots. I imagine my vampire is openly ripping apart those that stand in his way at night, and there's nothing they can do about it. It's great. So we're just gonna keep doing this. People across Egypt are forming groups to hunt down and fight the vampire whenever it feeds. Good luck. Good luck. We're very powerful. I'd love to have 41 DNA points right now just to knock that out, but I may actually want to start swinging over to the Templars and murdering them before we have a chance, before they have a chance to do much else. Yeah, we're slowly, let's fly. So let's fly from here, and this is where we can fly from, right into Saudi Arabia. And we're gonna go ahead and attack Saudi Arabia right away. So this is gonna be a health thing. You're gonna see their health going down and mine going down. But once we take 1 out, boom, they're done, and they're gonna spread to everywhere else. In a cloud of darkness, the vampire brutally attacked the Templars' base. Some survivors were able to escape to other Templar bases with crucial knowledge that will help fight the vampire in the future. We're gonna keep feeding on this place though. So let's go ahead and just rip apart Saudi Arabia as best we can. Their dead are gonna skyrocket, and we're gonna feast upon the blood of them and lick their balls. Ligma, baby. It's a good stuff. All right, we're almost ready for level 4. Actually, we can take level 4 right now. We're at 0 DNA. The next we're gonna wanna do is start popping into Dark Ritual, because this will allow us to heal when we feed. So that's next. And we have no at all any reason whatsoever to be dipping anywhere else. So let's go ahead and grab this so we can start healing. Beautiful. And now we're gonna, because we have the maxed attack that we can, it's time to start wiping out the Templar. They let us get too powerful before they decided to enact. So now it's time to just rip them apart. Boom, they're down. We'll feast up and heal. And the point now for us is to just take them out. So we're gonna go all the way over here. We have enough of DNA to fly us around. It's only one DNA per. I didn't mean to devour them, but we'll get some DNA in the process as we eat them alive. And we're just gonna go here. and we're just gonna destroy them, hopefully. So, let's take out the Templars. Keep an eye on our health. We may need to fly away, but we should be fine. Beautiful. And then we will just eat up. Wow, what is that noise? We're gonna eat up Iceland. You can hear the gunshots. They're desperate, baby, but I'm just teabagging them, just right in their mouth. All right, with that done, let's actually take this for quick healing. And I'm actually gonna level up our flight so we're flying a little bit faster. Again, we're not ready to infect the world yet. There's still Templar, and the balance between them is important. We, however, will start teching into layer tech very, very soon, where we can set up layers around the world that later we should be able to teleport to. It should be great. But still, for right now, Iceland is being consumed. We might even just destroy Iceland completely. And then we're gonna have to move out that way. But Iceland is in a bad spot. You could win the game, theoretically, by just murdering everybody, I think. But what's the fun in that? You're not ruling the world that way. My vampire has intents to rule the earth. It belongs to him to wipe out the virus that is mortality and humanity and reshape it under his image. I built up significant defenses against the vampire. Citizens are not prepared for anything. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. They're the only ones left. But the world now knows I exist. All right, say goodbye to Iceland. There's not much they can do. No humans left to feed. I'm gonna start starving, which is fine, because I'm just gonna get out of here. And we're just gonna pop ourselves over this way. Let's go ahead and heal up real quick. Just devour them all. And we're gonna fly from here over, and then we're just gonna keep flying our way over that way and say goodbye to the Templars. Then after that's done, the Templars have not much of a choice. Or rather, humanity doesn't have much of a choice. They're mine for the taking. I will just start saving up and making sure that I am unstoppable. All right, let's see what happens. Pop here, be very careful. We're gonna attack, I'm gonna slow things down a bit. We gotta keep an eye on it. We might still win this without them even being able to kill us. Yep, there they go. They're done. Now feast on Indonesia, and then we're gonna need to take them out over there. And then once more, we will travel from here to here. Now we may have to bounce back and forth because they're now extraordinarily powerful. They have every little bit of defense that they've been able to build up from here. So yeah, see how we're gonna have to tick away? We're just going to bounce back and forth between New Zealand and Australia and feast on the people of Australia to heal. And then we're gonna bounce back and just keep whittling them down. It's gonna be a little bit of time, but it's gonna be valuable. We have enough DNA to make it happen. We're gonna have to get to them before they can heal. I love the gunshots. Australia. You think Australia, who has the most deadly fucking wildlife in the world, would be able to stop this, but no, vampires are too much. Ooh, they are not having a good time on this fight here. Okay, we're gonna stop and we're gonna leave. Delicious, and this should be the final travel here. And then the Templars should fall. There's not much they can do. Come on. I think we got them. Beautiful. In a devastating assault, the final Templar fortress has fallen to the vampire. Who will defend against humanity in the darkness now? I only can imagine that my one vampire just shows up, head down, in the middle of the night, a full moon casting a shadow on him, and the Templars on their own fortress are just shooting at them with their silver bullets, and he's taking damage, but I just open my arms and a plague pours forth, and all of a sudden in a blur, I'm just at one soldier ripping out his jugular, and then without even hesitation and a blink, I'm at three others just destroying them. And when they think they may have me, I disappear, and I come back a night later and finish them off before they even have a chance. And for that, New Zealand will suffer. All right, well, we have 108. What we're gonna start doing is prepping layers. So we're gonna layer up, and then eventually we're gonna need, some of this stuff here will help our layers deal with extreme temperatures. We're not gonna worry about that right now. And then I'm going to take this over here, which is Shadow Portal. Shadow Portal is the ability to teleport between wonderful layers. And the point here is to set up layers around the world and teleport to them when research bases show up, so I can just murder them all. So let's start making that happen. Let's start flying around. Fly from here to here. In fact, you know what? We want to fly a little faster. Let's go ahead and grab this as well. I just want to fly fast. We can eat up some DNA here, just start devouring the people of New Guinea, and then we'll fly out, and then we'll fly over to here. This will be a good place to put a layer. It's a nice like central location. So we'll go ahead and pop a layer right here. And we can teleport to here whenever we need it. Hidden away from humans, this layer acts as a base for the vampire. Here it can heal itself as well as generate DNA by conducting genetic experiments on healthy and infected people. Good enough. All right, so that's gonna give us DNA every so often, which is awesome. We're gonna keep flying around the world, however. And with hopes of just setting up more layers. Another layer here. And then I like having a layer over here, it's kind of in the center. And we're just gonna pop up a bunch. Another layer here. And then maybe up here would be not a bad idea. We can kind of get where we need to go pretty quickly now, luckily. But this is just preparation for research labs that we're gonna have to deal with. So we got another layer here, and then we can fly from here all the way here, and we can have another layer up here, and I think we've got a very, very good layer spread this way. But we need to devour people right now. We need a lot more DNA, because it's gonna be, every layer you put down increases the amount of DNA you need to spend on the next layer. So let's zoom out, and just let our vampire kind of just go nuts on Norway here until we have enough for one more layer. And then at that point, we may have a hard cut, because we're gonna be absorbing a ton of DNA just by feasting on people, and then we're just gonna unleash hell on the world and turn the world into our slaves. It's wonderful. So another layer right here. Beautiful. And now I start murdering the world. Oh, okay, welcome to the Hellmouth. Dark whispers emanate from the shadow portals, increases vampire strength. Dark whispers, oh, I guess we got a little interrupted there. All right. That's an interest. Is that a what I think it is? Was that a, no, it wasn't anything. I don't know what that is. Maybe that's a weird thing to have pop up. Regardless, we're gonna continue to farm humanity. And we're basically, again, in my mind, what's happening now is while we're accumulating DNA, you know, mechanically, my vampire himself is just culling humanity. He needs it to be at a number that is manageable for him. Norway itself is about to no longer exist. We are to devour them completely and utterly as punishment for resisting us. These people are food. They're cattle. They're subservient. Let me lick the balls. Okay, Norway is done. Let's fly out from Norway, and we can head over to Russia and start devouring Russia a bit. All right, we've banked about 300 DNA. We have devoured many humans. It's time. It's time we go nuts and unleash it. And the plan here now is to infect people with our virus and make them our servants. So, the first thing we have to do for LIGMA is to take Shadow Blessing. The vampire releases the Shadow Plague to help subjugate humanity. Victims develop severe bruising. We take that and it's free. We don't have to do anything. Now that means we're gonna get all of this stuff and we're gonna immediately grab the basics, which is this easy stuff, but we don't need to go much further than that. Next thing we're gonna go for is just making this as difficult for them to fight back as possible. We need to be very, very, very positive. So we need to make it as infectious as we can as well. Blood gift is one, and we're gonna go down this blood gift tree. So a vampire visits hundreds of humans each night and marks them in blood, infecting them with the Shadow Plague. So anywhere around us, we're gonna infect people. Then we take Dark Cloud, tens of thousands of humans each day. Then hundreds of thousands, and then finally, millions are infected like that because I emit an aura of nastiness. Then our layers are gonna get buffed. I'm gonna make sure our layers are buffed. And then over to symptoms, we can start cracking down on this. Over here, decreased volume of red blood cells leads to infected looking pale, or they get strong. It's like, okay, what do you want your vampires to be? Super strong or look pale? I like super strong. And then we got making victims more charismatic, which is always fun, or more, yeah, victims more charismatic. Do I wanna go up this way? Anabolic boost. Or as the disease infects the brain, optic nerves trigger severe intolerance to light. Yeah, vampires. And then hyperdontia. The teeth in the infected grow. Basically, we get the other people get fangs other than us. And then same thing with over here, jugular bite, which is nasty, nasty, nasty. We can get, yeah, we can grab dark pustules as well. Makes it harder for them to cure it. Over here, by the way, is millions will die. So basically the idea is like, I'm the only true vampire and I'm infecting all these people with this disease to make them subservient. They themselves are not vampires. We can, however, take vampiric awakening, and the virus itself will look for a host that is suitable for vampirism, and we could get a second vampire to command. However, we don't really need that right now, nor do we ever really need it ever. But we're gonna worry about that later. Shadow slaves. Neuropathic manipulation causes severe behavioral abnormalities and eventually permanent psychosis, causing infected to become slaves to the vampire. That's right, all who are infected are now bowing to my will. My true world domination begins now. So we take that, and then we save our 10 DNA for flying around. And now watch what happens as soon as we unpause. We have zero, oh, just dead, no, uninfected, boom. Pause it, immediately, within seconds, 43 million people are infected. The vampire releases a unique strain of the shadow plague called LIGMA, which spreads independently from the vampire. Infected humans have no idea what the vampire has planned for them. They don't. So we now can start flying around and just infecting places as we see fit, just by arriving. And it's gonna spread by itself. Authorities in Russia expressed concern over a previously unknown pathogen called LIGMA. Analysis shows similarities with the bat-borne diseases, and it appears to cause severe bruising in humans. Look how fast this thing is spreading. We can grab this now. Let's go ahead and pop it. Maybe not yet. And we're just gonna fly around and infect islands and all kinds of stuff. People infected with LIGMA have been enslaved by the vampire and forced to go on bloody killing sprees. There is no helping or reasoning with them. So we have to keep an eye out, because now that the disease is out there and it's like, boom, it almost like laid in wait, the cure is gonna pop up soon. People are gonna start trying to fight the cure. Look how fast it's spreading. Enslaved humans infected by LIGMA are fighting a brutal civil war in Russia as they battle to take over the country in the name of their vampire master. Humanity will soon no longer be a pain and instead something worth keeping. Let's see. Infected blood bleed themselves to strengthen the vampire. Layers generate extra DNA. Yep, or take both. 100%. Transmission is something I'm gonna worry about doing soon. Let's actually just wipe out Japan. Destroy them all. LIGMA has been placed on the WHO watch list and due to its ability to cause severe bruising. Already dangerous, governments are warned that it could become unstoppable. That's all you're worried about, is that it causes bruising? Fam. Don't worry, I will show you the darkness and take this world from you, from right under your eyes. Japan is all but done. Wait, there is a cure being researched somewhere and I don't know where. It stopped. Everyone in Russia has been enslaved by LIGMA and now serves a vampire. Scientists banned and the country has fallen into darkness. Japan will be the same. All right, let's start flying around some more. We can actually go ahead and fly to portals. Let's go to Canada and start spreading it in Canada. Boom, millions. Due to the concern of the unusual and predictable nature of LIGMA, the WHO is funding a new global system of research labs. These labs will try and cure the pathogen. So, right away, we need to go right here. We're gonna start slowing things down a little bit because we need to keep an eye out for these labs. Let's just go from here to here, and what we're gonna do is just attack this country as soon as we land. Boom, destroyed. Lab in the UK destroyed by vampire. Officials concerned that destruction of the WHO research lab in the UK, as well as large numbers of casualties by a vampire. See, you set up research labs and now immediately I'm just gonna come over there and murder you. You're literally flagging me to come say hi. So that's what I'm gonna do here as well. There goes that lab, it's done. No more labs for me to concern myself with. Let's continue to harvest. Harvest. Look at Canada. Oh my God, that's so good. All right, let's just go and grab into, what do we want? What's this? Surges of contractible proteins, constant microtrauma, increases infectivity, which we don't really need right now. Why don't we go with maybe taking another vampire? Let's go ahead and grab it. Vampiric awakening. The virus will itself look to try and kill off other things. And we're gonna maybe start looking at trying to mutate this thing so it can also infect animals. Hundreds of millions of people will be killed by Ligma as it searches for a viable host to turn into a vampire. To speed things up, infect more people. Vampiric awakening can be used repeatedly. I'm not concerned, man. Where is there a lab? It's being researched, and I don't know how. But we're gonna start just spreading this thing, man. Millions here. Vampire uses blade powers to travel faster over icy terrain. Increases combat strength in cold temperatures. Awesome. That was a nice free mutation. And then we will just murder it. And it should be infected by itself very, very soon. There's still research happening somewhere. Key research could stay Spain, Germany, and the US, huh? Well, let's start taking care of that. Yeah, I guess we want to go over here. All right, let's teleport to here. And then we're gonna fly to here, into the US, and we're just gonna start devouring the US alive. Just like start completely murdering them all as best we can. Beautiful, that's doing us great work. Now we need to go back. We could probably just teleport to here, and then we will fly ourselves from here. We'll let it tick so we can start infecting, and then we're gonna go over here. Let's slow things down to ×1 real quick. Okay, that's done. Next. We gotta go over to Australia as well. Okay, murder it. Infected. Can't get over there quite yet. Australia, man, you're just doing yourself a disservice by letting me do this. And then I will teleport back here and jump on that. Actually, we have so much stuff. Let's just animals and a little bit of research slowdown. After killing millions, the Shadow Plague has successfully manipulated the DNA of an infected victim in Morocco and has turned them into a vampire. The new vampire needs to heal to be at full strength. That's totally fine, buddy. You're in Morocco. Let's just start murdering Morocco. And then over here, murder that. Infected, infected, infected. He's gonna heal up very fast. LIGMA has mutated and developed the anabolic boost system without using DNA points. Thanks, man. All right, first, murder it. Second, fly from here to here. Infected, infected. And at this point, the world is basically done. There's not much it can really do to stop this from happening. So we're gonna go ahead and just murder this plant here, and we're gonna start evolving like crazy. Let's go to vampire. What's this do? Heals faster, and we're fully mutated there. Grab this. Triggers mutated growth hormones, which triggers bone growth in the skull. Highly lethal, which is fine. People are gonna start dying a lot faster. Again, culling humanity and keeping the numbers manageable. Now, what isn't infected yet? We still need to get up there. So we're gonna just fly there. Take out Iceland, or Greenland rather. I always get them mixed up. And then he could start murdering and feeding there. We'll go over here. The cure for LIGMA is still proceeding. Where? Sweden? Germany is still somehow kicking it? We're gonna have to just get to Germany, right? We wanna go to Germany. Let's get to Germany. And, I mean, it might still be too late for them at this point. Even if they do cure it, we might be able to just murder them all. And that way we can still win. But I'd rather not. I'd rather still, you know, feast. This is done. Let's go over here. Murder this. Murder this. This is Sweden, right? So New Zealand, Central Europe, and India now are kind of like the last bastions. Egypt has to go. I mean, they are the ones that awoke me. but that's fine. Autophagia automatically happened. The world is almost but done. We're gonna fly here. We're gonna start taking out some of these islands that we've left behind. The Philippines, they're resistant, man. Sticking around before I can lick their balls, you know what I'm saying? Okay, they're done. Beautiful. Murder them. They're done. Murder them. Is there anywhere that has not been saved yet? Oh, wow. Way over there, huh? That is my mistake. Teleport there. And then fly here. Murder them all. That should be every single country on the planet now. And they should be all but done. I think that's it. The Shadow Plague is fully... There it is. LIGMA dominates the world. And that's how you play the vampire disease. I'm pretty sure that will carry over to pretty much any difficulty if you want to try it out. I just like the idea of this vampire waking up, underpowered, slaughters himself through the world so he's got a good chunk of his power back, and then just spreads the plague. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, let me know in the comment section below by hitting the like button. Your support means the world to me. And make sure you subscribe for more content just like this. Here's our game. We don't need to watch it though. That's gonna be everything. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
We like to gamble. 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 We like to gamble.